Hi, this is Lori Williams, and this is your remote viewing moment. Now, last week we were talking about viewing locations. I want to make another quick video this week to continue a little bit on our discussion and give you a little bit more information and some more specifics about how you can do what I was talking about yesterday. Okay, so now we have our trusty flip chart, and what I want to talk to you about is how you're going to use your paper and your remote viewing skills, which are ever improving. Keep going, never give up. You're going to get better and better and better as you go. So what we're going to talk about here is we're going to talk about when you're moving around at the site, how to do the move commands, and we're going to also talk about how to use your paper to get information, using your blank sheet of paper as an ideogram. Now, for a lot of these, you could use them in a vertical configuration, or you can use them in a horizontal configuration as a map. Okay, so you can do that either way, whatever you're more comfortable with. And it kind of depends on your feeling as you're doing the viewing, because sometimes you have this feeling that it's just going to be a little sketch and you're going to just keep moving on. Other times you kind of get this sense, I really kind of have a good sense of this and I want to spend a little more time on it, and I'm going to make it more of a broad horizontal map. So that's totally up to you. You're the viewer. You're in charge, right? Okay, just as we mentioned when we were talking about man-mades, one thing you always want to keep in mind that you're looking for the basic sensories, smells, sounds, tastes, colors, textures, and your shapes, sizes, patterns, positions, and measures, your dimensional information, right? If you're going to do some sketching, remember that your paper becomes an ideogram. You can touch it and get information. Sometimes you have no idea what to sketch, and you don't even have an idea of where things are at the target or anything. And you can literally put your pen on the paper and go, you know what, I'm picking up something over here. I'm actually picking up something round. So you sketch the round thing, and then you kind of feel it, and you start kind of feeling it out. You go, okay, I'm thinking that this is something here. And then you might even start picking up colors, textures, temperature, smells, sounds, tastes. You can use your cue card even. As you touch this, you're going to get information. So you can put a number, and then on your other page, let's say this is page 7 and this is page 8. And of course we say refer to page 8 for info. And we say refer to page 7 for sketch. Now I know this is a little bit of a review from your PRV class, your basic class, but I want to dive a little deeper than we had time for in the class. Remember that you want to be asking about your sensories as you're feeling this out when you're doing a location. We've got to give the tasker some information that is unique to the location, right? If he's going to find this location, it's got to give some very specific information. So think about things like, what's here that makes it unique? You can even be asking yourself that. That's another really great tip for any remote viewing target. Trust that when you ask yourself a question, your subconscious mind is going to respond. So you can be like, what's unique here? Suddenly you go, whoa, you know what? I feel like there's something really tall right here. There's something very, very, very tall, and it's kind of cylindrical. And I just get this cylindrical sense of it. And it feels really shiny and metallic. So I'm going to put that information here. So here in number 1, where we got this, we got that it was also kind of cylindrical and maybe black and open and stinky. Okay? So we've got that there. But then in number 2, we could say it's tall, shiny, and silver and metallic. I hope you can still see. Oops. Nope, I got to move it down. Okay. Silver and metallic. Okay, so now you can see I have my 1 and my 2. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to keep on filling up this with information. And you could just keep doing this. You could say, oh, you know what? It feels like there's some kind of a pathway or a road, something to travel on that seems to come between these two objects, for example. And you could describe the texture and the color of this, and you can just go along describing and putting numbers. And as you do that, remember to ask smells, sounds, tastes, colors. Remember to use your cue card so that you can prod yourself for more information, okay? That's so important. Okay, the last thing I want to tell you about in your remote viewing moment this week is you can also focus in on a target within a target. Let's say that something tells you that there is something about this, something really important, that you need to dive in deeper. So if you want to dive in deeper to a certain aspect of the target, you can simply go onto another page. Let's say we're on page 9. And you can just simply say, see number 1 on page 7. And then that way they know that what you're doing right now is you're focusing in, you're zeroing in on number 1. And so with number 1, you say, well, it's this big thing, and I want to really explore it a little more. And I'm going to dive in and I'm going to really look at this one thing. And now you can also, of course, write all the information that you can do. You can jump back into using your phase 2 structure to really dive in and explore, again, tastes, smells, colors, textures, luminances, shapes, sizes, patterns, positions, all those things. You can move inside of this thing and see what's inside. You can come outside and touch it and see how it feels. That's when you need to dive in to a target site within a target site, so to speak. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's remote viewing moment. Join me here next week when I'm going to be talking to you about biological targets. We might do several videos on biological targets because it's pretty expansive. So we'll be talking about all the types of biological targets and the key ways that biological targets and the ability to view them can be such a helpful ability that you'll really want to develop. I'll see you next week.